Hi, this is Rebecca Rowland, and I want to go over my data collection process for my mixed method study. I'll be performing my study in a middle school civics classroom that is made up of mostly 7th grade students. I want to collect a mixture of qualitative and quantitative data in order to ensure triangulation. The first thing I'm going to do is give a pre-test of the civics content knowledge. Um, this will be done through some open-ended questions about the students' civics content knowledge. I also want to reflect on what I'm trying to do, what I'm looking for, and what scaffolds I think will be most helpful to the students as they go through the PBL, the problem-based learning process. After I reflect and gain observational data, I will be modeling the problem-based learning process for students. And then students will work through 3 rounds of problem-based learning in which at first I will provide lots of scaffolds and supports for them. And then I will also kind of ease off that and maybe do like a 50-50 the second round. And the third round will be limited scaffolds and supports for the PBL process. And then their final assessment will be where they do the PBL process all on their own without any help from the teacher. I'm going to put them in groups of 3 or 4 students. And again, they will go through these 3 rounds of PBL. So here are my rounds. First, the students groups will solve a PBL question related to Standard 2. All of my PBL questions are related to the Florida Civics, the Florida Sunshine standards, specifically Civics Standard 2. I will observe the students and reflect on what they're learning, how the supports are helping or not helping. And I'll kind of keep a journal during that time. Then they will have an open response post-test of civic content knowledge after each or after they perform the PBL process to kind of see how their civics content knowledge has increased. I'll also give them an engagement survey because I want to not only measure their content knowledge of civics, but also how PBL helped them hopefully be more engaged in the learning process. I'll give them an exit ticket that will include both quantitative and qualitative data, a Likert scale that will kind of ask them some questions about how they felt they learned using the PBL process as opposed to direct instruction. And then they'll have an open response reflective writing where they themselves can kind of do some self-assessment in how they felt that they worked through the PBL, the problem-based learning process. I will reflect on their data and make changes to the scaffolds and supports after rounds 1 and 2. And then they will go ahead and do the round again. And so there'll be 3 rounds of this process, this PBL process. And then finally, I will give them a summative assessment. And my prediction is that the students will be uncomfortable at first with the PBL process, but they will be more engaged in learning through problem-based learning. Their reflective writing will increase as the 3 rounds kind of build their confidence as well as knowledge about how to perform PBL in their groups. And then the assessment, like I said before, they'll do that on their own without any scaffolding or supports. And I'll use a teacher-created rubric to evaluate their final PBL assessment.